What's going on, everybody? I'm AwesomeNES.
And I'm ZeldaPros 064.
And, oh boy, it has been almost half a decade since we started YouTube together.
Wow, it's been over half a decade.
It's been over half a decade since we started doing YouTube videos.
6 years ago.
He started his channel, ZeldaPros 064, a lot earlier than that, but he had one random video, and then we encouraged each other to make actual videos. And then we started making actual videos on each of our individual channels. So I was LD Robinson 98 at the time.
And I was ZeldaPros 064 at the time.
Yeah.
I still am.
You're still that. Since then I've changed to AwesomeNES, and then that channel died. And his channel is also buried.
It's thriving because of a Hylian Shield video.
A certain Hylian Shield that broke.
Yeah.
But anyway, we just wanted to talk and reminisce, kind of talk about. We combined the channels about 4.5 years ago now.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's just barely over 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We collabed our channels together. Still ran our individual channels, and then we also invited my brother and some friends to join in on it. That became TheZeldaPros, and then now it's what you know as PurpleCoin.
Yep. The channel you're currently listening to this
Yeah,
on.
you're watching our Purple podcast on PurpleCoin Entertainment. Excuse me.
So, yeah, we just kind of wanted to talk about how this all began.
Yeah, so...
Because we haven't really ever told the story.
Yeah. No one really knows the story of how the ZeldaPros began, except for, like, Zach.
And Tristan.
I think Tristan wasn't even really in on it. He wasn't there for most of the beginning. We just suddenly were like, hey, Mad Rabbi, do you want to join us?
So, before we go into how the channel itself started, we got to talk about...
What led to it.
Yeah,
right?
So have you guys ever seen... Call of Duty Modern Aliens?
No, that's not what I was talking about.
Well, that's where I'm going with it. That was the first time me and Logan ever did anything together. And
I think before that we had the Hands videos that never got released. Hans.
Those are stupid. And it's not going. My mama lives across the street.
Oh, sorry for that.
Your grandma smells like crap. Oh gosh,
Oh.
Those were so fun. Yeah, and then after that we made Modern Aliens, which is on my channel still, which I would still very much like to delete.
You can't. It's a piece of history.
I know.
It's terrible, ugly piece of history.
And then so we kept making collaboration live action stuff, and it kept going up on my channel. So we did
video game items in real life.
No, before that was Chaos Emeralds and Zelda.
Chaos Emeralds, yeah.
And then,
that's a good one.
And then video game items in real life.
Yeah.
And then so. Back in that time, I had been making a little mini series about my cat that I had, and I was like pretty proud of it. But I was like, this would have been more fun if I had someone else to work on it with.
If it was people.
Yeah. So I came up to Logan and I was like, hey, I want to make a mini series. But I was like, a mini series wouldn't fit on my channel. It wouldn't really fit on your channel.
Absolutely not, because I was still doing monthly AwesomeNES video, or I called it. I guess I was trying to make AwesomeNES videos, but really it was just those really random game reviews I did.
Like Shadow.
I hadn't done that one yet. By the time I was in AwesomeNES, that was my first video as AwesomeNES, I think.
Oh.
Or at least it was my first Awesome Nintendo Entertainment Show video, So I was AwesomeNES by then, but I was doing things like the Dragon Ball card game video game.
Oh.
And
the Bible card.
The Bible game. Yeah, I was just doing plays of random games. Let's Tries. That's what I called them. I called them Let's Tries. So I'd just pick up a random game and we'd play it.
You did Luigi's Mansion for a while.
I was doing an actual playthrough of Luigi's Mansion. That never got finished.
You never finished
it. Maybe we'll stream that someday.
But, so yeah, I went to Logan. I was like, we should do a mini-series. And then we were in the pool late one day, and I had still been trying to work on the mini-series, which we now know is Neo Phantasma.
Yeah.
But we were in the pool, and it was just a hot summer day. We had just finished watching Nintendo's E3 that year.
I think it was like a couple days later. Yeah, it was 2015, but it was like 2 or 3 days later.
And it was a very disappointing.
And we could not stop talking about how upset we were over that. And then we started. At one point, we just turned it into jokes. We were like, "Oh, it's so bad." We started making references. Oh, what if they all came on stage and turned into puppets?
And they were like, "What was Nintendo actually thinking?" Whenever when they went into the press conference, like, "Hey, let's pitch this."
Star Fox Zero and that bad Mario Party game.
Yeah.
Amiibo Festival came out that. Oh man, it was just
Federation Force.
Really? Yeah. That was that same
Mario
one.
Luigi Paper
Wow,
Jam.
they were just not having it. They were just not on the game that year.
And so that's how it actually happened.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's make a channel separate for live action skits.
We immediately scurried out of the pool. We ran straight to the deck, got dried off, ran inside, went to the kitchen and other living room for a minute, finding journals and pencils and pens and stuff, and then ran to my room and sat on the bed, writing as many ideas as we could down.
Fun with Plushachu was one of those ideas.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
We were
because we made how it actually happened, and then we did the Blind Sunshine.
Yeah.
And then Fun with Plushachu was after that.
Really?
Well, it was a non-Nintendo Direct, but we announced Neo Phantasma and
non-Nintendo Directs were the ways we used to announce things. I think we actually did one recently, but it was a mini, and it didn't really.
Yeah. Non-Nintendo Directs actually started on my channel.
Yeah.
Those used to be my announcement videos.
That's how they came over here as well.
Yeah, let's just move those over.
And
now a non-Nintendo Direct is currently our most viewed video on the channel as of.
That's wild. One from like what 2016? Is that what it said?
Something
it's like September 2016.
It was so, do you remember how we named the channel TheZeldaPros?
Yes, I do, because
I don't.
This is actually the same time that we were writing down the video ideas. You were writing down. I was writing down. One of us was just writing down video ideas. The other of us was writing down title. Oh, that's right. You were writing down ideas, and I was writing down names for the channel because we were just trying to figure out what to call ourselves because we were like, okay, we've got plenty of video ideas coming up so far. At least you were over there scribbling. Yeah. You had things going, but I was just sitting there stuck. I was like, what are we gonna call ourselves? And then at first I was like, I'm pretty sure we thought about calling ourselves like Nintendo Power. Or like Nintendo Power Team or something and they were like, well, that's that magazine was still going on at the time, so that would have really been not right.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't think of anything else, and then so we were like the Nintendorks, but that actually got changed. That was taken.
I forgot about Nintendorks.
The Nintendo Nerds. Gosh, we had some kind of other names going on.
There were a lot of bad ones.
I'm trying to think of how many that we had. I remember one of them had Star in the name, didn't it?
I feel like maybe.
It's like Star Players or something, and a lot of people actually had taken a lot of these names, and it was really surprising. And I think we tried to also settle on one that might have had something more to do with Sonic, but it didn't work either. And then I jokingly was like, hey, what if we turned your singular ZeldaPro into plural ZeldaPros? And he was like, no, that's stupid.
But I think the longer we thought about it, it's like, well, there's three of us. There's me, you, and Tristan. And that can make a Triforce.
Yeah.
And then that became our logo.
Well, see, Tristan wasn't involved in it yet, so we ran over to his room because his room is right next to mine. We were like, hey, would you be on a multi-channel collab with us? And he was just like, yeah, I guess. And we were just like, okay, cool. So we were like, hey, that's three of us. That makes a Triforce. And we're like, and if we ever decide to get a fourth member, which we had no other friends at the time, so there was no chance of a fourth member, but
you could be the...
like, if we ever get a fourth member, it'll still work because they can just be the upside down triangle inside of the Triforce.
Yep. And so, if you go back and watch that non-Nintendo Direct, you'll actually see the very old logo for that, which is not anywhere else except on there that I know of. Yeah. And it's because in the trailer, the initial teaser trailer for Neo Phantasma, we had like the sword fighting scenes.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
We're not even in Neo Phantasma because
yeah.
we just randomly went to my house and filmed
random
swords.
Stuff. That was fun.
That's where we announced the original logo for it, and yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
this is like big nostalgia bombs, man.
Right? But I'm trying to think of what I was just thinking about. I lost it. This is a very bad time to lose thought in the middle of a podcast.
But basically, we came up with ideas. We came up with the channel name, and we just started rolling. And so we did how it actually happened. We did some blind gaming. We did some other gaming videos.
Oh, I know what I was thinking of. It's like Plushachu's first appearance was in the non-Nintendo Direct, and we started trying to have Plushachu just be around for a little bit to build it as a character. And it's since pretty much disappeared off the channel, but we never wrote it out.
Plushachu is still here.
Plushachu's out there somewhere.
The last video, as of this recording, that Plushachu has been in was Movie Titles 2. Plushachu was in.
Right, that was the same one.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
Yeah, Plushachu's still out there, so you better watch out. There might even be a jump scare in this video. But
insert possible jump scare. If there's no jump scare there, then that was just awkward silence.
Yeah, it was just awkward silence. It was to prepare you for the jump scare that doesn't happen.
Oh. Plushachu is also in some of the When Logan's Not Home videos as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, I didn't realize that. And then
Plus, it just has
it's the
little
when everyone.
cameos everywhere.
I don't remember the name of what we called it. I think we actually called it when everyone is here, for the first ZeldaPros birthday.
Yeah.
When everyone was just there, and then PlushiChew's attacking Timothy.
I think it was attacking Rodney.
I think it's attacking you, and then it attacks Rodney during the.
Oh, that's right.
Dance
That's
or
right.
whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
we've just got little mini staples like that.
Yeah.
That's been around since the beginning. PlushiChew is probably the biggest one. It's like really the longtime fans and subscribers are going to really know.
Yeah, or anyone that's new, you can go back and look. You know, it might be give you like a little Easter egg hunt to go on. How many episodes of this can I find this in? Fun fact, we've never talked about this before, but you can see a character that doesn't belong there in episode 6 of Neo Phantasma.
Albino Puccina?
No. Jordan?
Jordan, right.
Yeah, you can see my girlfriend, she's sitting in the woods during the final fight scene of Neo Phantasma episode 6.
We could count that out as an Easter egg, but I think instead of doing that, we're just going to say it was a mistake.
That's an Easter egg. That's
a mysterious girl Easter egg. Who
yeah,
could it
well,
be?
I mean, they were calling the water bottle and coffee cup that appeared in the finale of Game of Thrones. They're like, no, it's an Easter egg. I mean, it is an Easter egg because considering you can consider a mistake an Easter egg.
I guess so. Okay,
I'm trying to think
an
of
Easter egg.
every other times that. What other times have we had things that just aren't supposed to be there?
Zoe.
Because I know, Zoe making appearances throughout Neo Phantasma.
Zoe's in Neo Phantasma
Sparky,
way too much.
Yeah,
same with Sparky.
Sparky popping up my cat a few times.
But Zoe is officially an albino Puccina though because of video game items in real life.
Yeah,
which is on my channel if you guys want to.
Which that doesn't. I mean, yeah, that's kind of.
Zoe's in when Logan's not home too, because at one point
Sparky's also in.
I found a albino Puccina, and she's just like, "That's my dog."
That's my dog. Yeah, but Sparky's also in the video game item. Remember, because they had that fight almost.
That's right.
Because we just dropped Zoe in front of Sparky, and it turned into like an actual Pokemon battle. Because she barked and chased him, and he jumped, and they took off.
That was hilarious. That was
not planned, and it happened like best way, perfectly. I guess now at this point we're just devolving into just ZeldaPros secrets and Easter eggs, I guess. Because something else I was wanting to talk about is actually kind of like the origin of Neo Phantasma. We're gonna maybe do a full Neo Phantasma discussion later,
I don't want to discuss the lore because there's some things we didn't explain.
We're not going to get too far into that right now, but I do want to talk about, since we were beginning the ZeldaPros. Honestly, Neo Phantasma goes hand in hand with the ZeldaPros.
Yeah,
because like he said, we didn't even we were already kind of considering making a multi-channel collab or whatever, like a collab channel before we had seen that E3 direct, because we wanted to make a short film, or at least a short film or a series or something, but it obviously didn't belong.
To do a mini-series.
Yeah, and it obviously didn't belong on my channel because I was strictly gameplay. Timothy was doing a couple. He was starting to experiment. That's I think about the time you started doing like stop motion with like Sonic figures and stuff.
I did one stop motion video. It was so bad.
Yeah, but you were starting to get experimental with your channel, and that's fine. But you were also like, maybe we should start putting these on something. So we were considering this. But he had actually been planning Neo Phantasma, I guess, longer than I'd known about it, because I remember seeing screenshots and a trailer for what he had already worked on before we even had a title.
I don't even have those anymore either.
Wow.
So it's not like anything I could ever post.
One of them...
What was that?
It was big wind attacking my house. But, anyway, yeah, the first thing that I saw was... his name's Michael. You might have heard him on one of the Detective Pikachu
the
podcast. He was actually here. I think he goes by Rudes. Yeah, he was actually in this original draft of Neo Phantasma, which it wasn't even called that. I don't remember if you guys had a title for it yet.
Name, but the basic principle was we had the stone, and it was like a time travel stone.
Yeah, and
I don't remember entirely what the story was, but someone gets the stone and goes back in time trying to screw some stuff up.
I remember that. I remember from the little trailer that I saw, there was a kid. That was Michael's character. There's a kid, and something happens in time, and his childhood house, is suddenly like collapsed in on itself because he was sitting like crying or whatever. It's supposed to be like sad in front of his house because he's like all of a sudden his parents and family, everything's gone, and he's just laying there upset. And he takes the stone. Oh, or maybe that. maybe it was like a fire. I think it was like a fire burned his house down or something. And he was wanting to go back and stop it or something. So he starts trying to look into it, and for some reason he ends up with like this time travel stone, but it accidentally awakens like a titan or like an ancient like warrior named Timotheus.
Timotheus, yeah.
Timotheus, who like pops out of like a warp pipe. I remember you guys had some kind of prop or whatever that you came out of, and I think it was just maybe like a well that was sitting nearby. But I remember you climbing out of it, and just the long exaggerated scream, holding like you had like an axe or a mace or something. I remember you had some kind of weapon in your hand. It wasn't a sword though. It was short.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what you had, but it was short. And I think you also might have had a shield, or maybe you just had the shield. But I just remember you holding on to something, and his character's like shirtless and ancient looking, and his hair's all old styled, and his glasses are off. Everything. He's just yelling and reposing.
Yeah, so obviously we ended up not going with
no, of course that's way different than what Neo Phantasma is now.
And I ended up rewriting. So the way we did Neo Phantasma, which we're going to go into spoilers with Neo Phantasma, so if you want to watch it and you haven't and you don't want to be spoiled, then probably stop listening here and go watch it. Otherwise, we're going to go into it. So the way we did Neo Phantasma is I would write out an entire season.
Yeah.
And then like I just have the basic principle or idea for each episode. And then you or Tristan would help me throw in the extra stuff that would go inside.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had like a little notebook that he brought us. With like he's like, this is what each episode is about. Logan, you're decent enough at improv, so you're gonna be all the filler content.
Yep.
And then we would just kind of write it as we went.
And I honestly can't tell you where the idea for Neo Phantasma came from, because honestly I was kind of writing it as we went along, which is why we have a lot of issues with continuity,
like consistency errors and continuity issues.
And so as we've continued to film Neo Phantasma,
it made more and more sense to us.
Yeah, and with that we'd have to go back and look at some of our old continuity and be like, okay, how can we explain this part?
Yeah, especially
knowing what we know now.
I remember that was a big part of wanting to make season 2, because we were kind of just done with at the end of season 1. But then I was like, I think we could keep pulling it out, and he was like, yeah, I think it deserves
There's
it,
more that needs
because we didn't
out.
really have a good ending. We were like, well, we beat Nathan, but now Jonathan's dead. Spoilers, but we beat Nathan, Jonathan's dead, and then they get back, but now what? Because they're not actually out. We could have just written them out there, because you wanted to use like the closet or something again to get them out of it.
Yeah.
And we were just like, that just doesn't work out too well. So we had that extra credit scene that I bet a lot of people actually haven't seen, because it just feels like it's going to go into total end credits. But we had an extra credit scene at the end of season 1, where Nathan is being dragged through the house by Ian, and he's returned to his bed. So that's where episode 1 of season 2, episode 7 begins. Right where they're standing at the end of season 1.
And season 2, we wrote that the same way, where I came up with the concept for each episode, and we just kind of mixed in with that. But each season took us about a year to make. We spent a year filming season 1.
I think closely it was a little closer to 6 months. The reason season 1 took so long was because of episode 6. And like we'll probably get into more of this.
We had problems with episode 5.
And a straight up Neo Phantasma discussion later.
Yeah.
Because I think that we're talking a lot about that, but I was kind of just wanting to talk about like not the lore, but like the beginnings of what was happening for Neo Phantasma. And there was something else I was just thinking of. We were talking about his original idea, naming Neo Phantasma was something I wanted to talk about.
That's right.
I remember this conversation. This went on for a week. Me and Timothy would not. We were texting each other, but we didn't have normal conversation. We would just send a random conglomeration of words to each other and expect the other person to say yes or no, or respond with another conglomeration of words. And gosh, one of Timothy's first messages he sent when we were trying to come up with a name, I remember laughing so hard at it. It was horrible.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the
I don't remember hardly any of the names. I bet I could, if I thought about it for a minute, I'm sure I could. Did we even know that it was going to be about dreams at first? We did?
Yeah, we did.
So I think that did have something to do with
it. Because that's when you came up with the name.
Yeah, that's right.
You looked up words that related to dream or New, and then you came up with New Dream, Neo, Phantasma.
Yeah, I think that's because I think we actually called it New Dream at first. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
or that was one, not the first, but one of the first ones. One of the earlier ones we came up with, and then we're talking about like Neon. Some of it was like Neon Dream. I think there was like Neon Dreaming,
Something like
and
that.
Super something. I know that that was the one you sent me. I remember it started with Super, and I remember thinking that was hilarious because it reminded me of Mario Brothers, like Super Mario Bros. What is Super Wells Bros? That wouldn't have been what it's called, but you know that's because it's about the brothers Wells.
Oh,
yeah. Ian and Jonathan Wells.
Well, we didn't even have names.
No, we didn't have names for our characters, but then yeah, he's right. I looked up. I was like, well, what could we call this? And I was like, I looked up New, and I was like Neo, and then to dream is a phantasm, and I was like Phantasma is a existence of dream or whatever. And I was like, whoa, I can just Neo Phantasma. I sent that to him, and he was like, At first, he was kind of iffy on it, and he came back to me the next day, and he was like, yes, I like it.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a bit, but that was the best name that either of us had come up with, and we're just like, yeah, let's go with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So man, the ZeldaPros really was a long time coming, with everything that we'd been doing, and then I think, gosh,
Neo Phantasma was a really big part of that too.
Absolutely.
Like, because really the only
that's where a
things
lot of
that
our
we
content
had
came
running-
from,
Yeah, we had Neo Phantasma, the How It Actually Happened series,
which only has 3 entries.
yeah, and then halfway through in between that point was when Logan's not home.
Yeah, it started after episode 3, I believe, of Neo Phantasma. That started popping up.
Yeah, and then we just had random content that would spill in every once in a while. But
yeah, I don't even remember what most of that stuff was.
the best Wii U game ever.
Oh, like really? That's right. We had really random content, like beyond with the random content that PurpleCoin makes. Because since PurpleCoin's been made, we don't have any series going on, at least not yet. But
we are going to start filming some. We've already announced some of that. Like, my best friend is my dad. I don't know if we've announced anything.
We haven't announced anymore.
There's other plans.
There's more.
We can't.
We obviously can't reveal that stuff right now. So stay tuned.
But we do have a lot of filming to do in August and September.
For sure.
So you guys know.
But I was just talking about like the weird content that's kind of been replaced in the meantime on PurpleCoin. Like we had our me and Zach have been pumping up videos on our own for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's not no fault to anyone else. It's just because we've been trying to keep the content going while Timothy's, doing business in Georgia, and then Aaron's been working really hard on animation and episodes of Pyrodex, which of course are only going to be going up monthly. So
yeah, but it was a hand drawn animation, frame by frame.
Yeah.
So, I mean, stuff like that takes.
So he's had a lot going on. So me and Zach have just been making content, and that's why we have some really weird ones, kind of like the lyrics to City Escape in real life. Follow me, I'll set you free. And we had the Mega Man and Link fight, that one was really fun.
I liked that a lot.
And then so stuff like that.
But speaking of PurpleCoin, we can talk about why and how we transitioned into PurpleCoin.
Sure.
So if you go back to some of our older videos on our channels, and even on the ZeldaPros, back when
even
we
early
called that,
ZeldaPros videos, not
you'll
early,
see
mid.
a little logo at the beginning of the video that'll say
Bling. Wow, that sounded straight out like it was like my laptop.
But so PurpleCoin actually used to be a website that Aaron or Metashadow was working on. It was just a website, and it was like all of our channels were on there, and he would update it and stuff. And so it was just like a little site that people could go to just kind of see all
our channels.
Yeah, and it was just a little pub for that,
and
I guess.
Cupquake.
Yeah. But as we kept going on with the ZeldaPros, we were like, you know what? The name of this channel doesn't really fit very well.
Because we thought we were going to do a lot more Zelda content, and we never did.
Never.
We literally did like one Zelda video
We
ever.
joked about that a lot, too. Same thing with my channel. I'm ZeldaPro064, and I rarely did Zelda content. That was always a big joke. But, so Aaron pitches to us, like, hey, like, why don't we change the name to PurpleCoin Entertainment, and we can just, instead of doing a website...
And I was very against it.
It can all just be
I was very against it. I was like, no, we've already established that PurpleCoin is this website and not the name of this channel. And then Timothy talked to me longer about it and finally convinced me, because I was like, you know what? He's right. And also, PurpleCoin Entertainment sounds a lot more like what we are now. We were just getting members. We were starting to get members then too.
That's when
And
Zach was coming in.
Well, Zach was joined during the ZeldaPros era.
Yeah, but like at the very end though.
Yeah, but he still had like 4 or 5 months before we switched.
Yeah.
To PurpleCoin, and cause we had it like November. It was a Zelda month, so it was in November, and then it was 8 months later, from November that we switched because we did it on the birthday. But we'd been talking about it for a long time, a few months before that. Yeah.
Actually, it had been so long since we had talked about whenever the transition happened, because I was in Georgia last summer when we made the change.
Yeah.
And
that's right, you weren't here for that.
I completely forgot that we were even doing the channel name change.
Yeah.
Because of how long ago it had been since we talked about it. And so yeah, all of our content was just kind of was beginning to get pushed over into PurpleCoin. And really, the first year of PurpleCoin, up until about where we are now, has been us just trying to conclude things with the ZeldaPros history. Like Inlayer. That concluded Neo Phantasma for us as a series.
And then we just wrapped up when Logan's Not.
That's right. Finished the Rodney arc.
Yeah, we finished Rodney. When Logan's Not had a real finale. We've been wanting to move on to, I think we've announced this already, I don't know, but I'm going to go talk about it anyway. We've been wanting to get back to how it actually happened and finally continue some of that story.
We did announce that.
I don't know if we're going to actually wrap it up or anything, but we will definitely move on with it.
Yeah.
And then I think that pretty much covers our bases from the ZeldaPros.
Yeah, everything else has been concluded.
Tied up.
Yep. Yeah, and so we've also got social media accounts that we keep up with.
Yeah, that's actually
keep up with the Twitter and the Instagram. I'm gonna start working on the Facebook page a little bit more if I can.
That's okay. I mean, I've kind of fallen off Twitter and Instagram a little bit with PurpleCoin too, but we've really not had a lot to talk about because if you're subscribed to us, chances are you can see our Discord, and that's where most of the thing goes on now. We've had a lot of conversations in the Discord channel. We've even got an announcement page now, so no one misses anything important.
Yeah.
And
Rodney also has an Instagram, Instahoffer. If you want to go check that out, that's there's some updated lore.
Yeah, there. For Rodney, because his was really confusing.
Yeah, so if you want to go lore hunting and try to piece some stuff together about Rodney, feel free to go check out Instahoffer. Right now, everything's just dark on there.
Is it underscore Instahoffer or Instahoffer underscore or something like that?
I don't remember.
I think there's an underscore.
There's an underscore somewhere. I just don't remember where. Rodney's the one that made it, not me. I'm not Rodney.
Oh yeah, you're not Rodney. Yeah, that's right. You just know that it's there.
Yep.
Yeah, but we got that. Oh man, we just had our first birthday as PurpleCoin recently, so it's been 4 years of this channel existing, and then the whole first year of PurpleCoin. And towards the end of this, man, PurpleCoin, our first year of PurpleCoin, we talked about this a little bit on our birthday video, but gosh, it's been so much more successful than the ZeldaPros has been. And it's had something to do with, like, I think towards the end of this, we started doing weekly uploads. We just started this about 2 months ago.
Yeah, weekly uploads started 2 months ago, and it was only going to go through August. But honestly, with the amount of content that
I'm not going to make that promise yet. I'm not going to let you make that promise.
No, I'm not going to make the promise. But like, we can at least most of the time get at least one video out. Like maybe one podcast for the week.
Yeah. Yeah, it might. It'll definitely cut down on the amount of videos you guys are seeing every week.
It was really just a summer thing, just to have all of this content.
But we've gained over 25 subs.
Yeah, just this summer.
Yeah, since we started doing this.
I know that we
were stuck at like 48 forever.
Yeah. And
then we got 49. We're like, oh, we're so close to 50. And then we got our 50th. And then the last 25, I felt like it's just gone by fast. Yeah, honestly.
Moving streams over have helped with that a lot too.
Streaming is definitely.
Not only that, we're partners, well, you wouldn't call it a partnership, would you?
It's kind of a partnership. Are you talking about Big Bang?
Yeah, with Big Bang.
Yeah,
that's a local comic.
They said they'd help promote us a little bit, especially for our Smash. They allow us to do the Smash Brothers streams there, with their crew and stuff. Me and Zach have been able to commentate Smash Bros tournaments, and that's been a blast too. We've made new friends out there, and maybe other people you might see on the channel at some point. I know you've heard their voices at least. So yeah, it's been great being able to do that. And they said that they'd help promote those streams at least, which might get even more people in. And then everyone that competes out there has at least seen our streams. So it's been really helpful to grow our channel that way. And it's been super cool.
Yeah. And I guess one of the last things I want to say is we've got a lot of help now too. We've got Aaron being kind of like our art guy. He does like the logos. He's made several channel art things for us. And,
Thumbnails.
Yeah, thumbnails.
Profile pictures. He made all of Zach's channel.
Yeah. And then we've got Trevorio, who's been doing music for us.
He's not been officially announced as a member yet, but he will be.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah. Because he's done a lot of music for us. We just haven't been able to use a lot of it yet, but
we're getting
there.
Another series. I just remembered that. We haven't even announced yet,
That's right. And we've started working on that this morning.
Yeah, we did start on that this morning. Wow. And he made an intro for that, and he made the intro for My Best Friend Is My Dad. We have at least announced that. So
yeah. And then Thor Chops Bro and Maya Awesome are also on a music team with Trevor. They haven't written any music specifically for us yet, but they have written music in the past and have given us permission to use some of that. And they told me that they would probably be willing to help write some other music too.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is going to help with us not getting copyright striked, because we've been hit by copyright way too many times.
I was especially noticing back in June, I guess. I think it was just last month. PurpleCoin is running like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
There were so many videos scheduled, and since no one else can see this, but except for us who have access to the account. But I was sitting there scrolling through all the videos that were prepared to go, and like some of them had thumbnails and some didn't. And every now and then I noticed that a thumbnail would get updated, and I'd be like, "Oh, cool! Someone got that thumbnail done." And Timothy did a couple, and Aaron did a couple, and I made one or two here and there. We were getting those videos uploaded and scheduled. Descriptions were being changed, links were being added, all kinds of things, and it felt
nice.
It felt so good. And honestly, that's fallen off where we are right now. That doesn't matter to you guys that much, but we are still keeping weekly uploads going. We have just really pushed our limit with keeping these weekly uploads going on. Hopefully, now that Timothy will be back at least very soon as we're recording this. So having just one extra brain and a pair of arms to help us do things might actually kick us back in gear. So we should at least have more content for you guys to enjoy. We definitely still enjoy making it. It's been super fun. We're gonna get to 100 soon.
Sure.
We're gonna get to 100 soon because, like I said, those 25 subs, we got those in 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
And we just need 25 more to get us there. That's wild.
Yeah.
We got close to passing my channel, and I was like, dang. It took me 4 years to get that many subs, and then we did pass my channel. I was like, dang. It took us 4 years to get that many subs.
And the more videos we upload, the more likely it is we get into people's feeds as well, which is probably helping as well, getting views on stuff. Discord has helped us a little bit too.
I've noticed that. If you use the YouTube Studio, 88% of our views are coming from Discord.
That's really cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to, the Discord will be in the description. Be sure to go there. Also, we are talking about getting a Patreon. We'll do a bigger announcement on that, but we've been talking about that in our Discord. There'll be a $1 tier, a $5 tier, and a $10 tier. So
$5 tier.
$5 tier. A $5 tier. And, for monthly things. And you guys would get exclusive content depending on which tier you would be paying for. But money for that would be going into us getting new equipment, like maybe for mics, like so we can hear ourselves better, like when we're filming.
Yeah.
Or
so you can hear us better when we're filming.
Yeah. And also maybe a second camera would be really nice.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
a green screen.
Green screen.
We need a green screen.
Yeah. Just
help us out, people. We're college students.
Yeah, we can't afford that stuff. So any help we can get. We've also thought about maybe doing merch, but these are all still ideas that are still in the process and in the works.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, come join our Discord and join in some of these conversations because we love getting to hear and talk to you guys.
Yeah. I think I think we've told our story. So I think
it's out there now.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's just so funny to me to show that it just started in a pool one afternoon after a Nintendo Direct.
Yep.
Yeah.
A bad. And that wasn't even a Direct. That was E3.
Oh, you're right. It was just they had a Direct.
Yeah, Nintendo Direct at E3. That was their E3 presentation. That was their E3 Direct.
Yeah. Wow.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, we could talk about that forever.
Probably.
Gosh.
But again, thank you guys so much for listening to us rant and ramble.
Yeah.
Again, it means so much for you guys subscribing to us, and keeping up with our content. So be sure to stay tuned though, because it will just keep getting better. We've got so much planned. I think 2019 through 2020 until our next birthday is going to be just phenomenal. In terms of like the stuff we've got planned. I mean, some of it might not even get started until 2020.
Pyrex is getting started this week on this Friday.
Oh yeah,
it'll be the first episode.
The Friday that we're recording this on. I don't know. This will definitely not be going up that same Friday, the same week.
Is it not?
So, no. We've already got our podcast up for today. We're recording on a Monday, but the podcast for today is already up.
No, I'm talking about. Oh,
and
that's right.
Goes out this Friday.
Last week was. I'm a little confused.
Don't know when you guys will actually see this, but
Pyrex is out already.
Pyrex is out.
That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, he wants you to go watch that.
As of the time we're recording this, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet, but it will be out by the time you see it.
Yeah.
So
go check it out. That's going to be once a month at the beginning. First Friday of every month is when the next episode.
First Friday of every month. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. We will see you guys in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.